Good morning, everyone. There comes a moment, not a grand moment, not a thunderclap, not some dramatic movie scene, but a quiet one. A moment where you sit down, look around, and think, why am I living like this? Why do I let their opinions control my every step? Why am I exhausting myself trying to be enough? For people who don't even know who I am, that's the moment your soul whispers, you've had enough. That's when it begins. The breaking, the burning, the beautiful undoing of everything fake, fearful, and forced, because the truth is, we're not born carrying what people think. We learn it, we inherit it, we get trained into it by systems, families, social media, religion, trauma, and fear. We get addicted to being liked, to fitting in, to feeling safe, even if it means we lose ourselves. But the day you stop caring what people think, truly stop, is the day you start living your life. This isn't about arrogance. It's not about becoming cold or reckless. It's about freedom. The kind that lets you speak your truth without shrinking. The kind that lets you laugh too loud, love too deeply, dream too big, and walk away when your soul says no. It's about finally making your life yours again, raw, real, imperfect, powerful. So let's go there. Let's talk about what really happens when you stop giving your energy to the opinions of others. Not the fake confidence, not the don't care attitude for Instagram. I'm talking about the soul deep transformation that rips you wide open and makes you unstoppable. When you stop caring what people think, you stop lying to them and to yourself. You stop saying I'm fine when you're breaking inside. You stop pretending you agree when your heart is screaming no. You stop laughing at jokes that offend you, showing up where you don't belong, and chasing approval like it's oxygen. You start telling the truth, raw, messy, inconvenient truth. You say, that hurt me. I don't believe in that. I want more. I'm walking away. This is who I am. It scares people. It will make them uncomfortable. But that's not your responsibility anymore. You're not here to manage everyone's emotions. You're here to be real, and realness is a revolution in a world full of fakes. Every time you changed your opinion to be accepted, every time you stayed silent to avoid judgment, every time you played small because someone might call you too much, you handed them your power, piece by piece, smile by smile, approval by approval. But the day you stop caring what they think, that's the day you start collecting your power like shattered glass. You reclaim your voice, you reclaim your boundaries. You reclaim your damn self. You realize you don't need permission to exist. You don't need validation to be valuable. You don't need applause to matter. They don't have the power. You do. You always did. You don't owe explanations. Not for your growth, not for your boundaries, not for your choices. You walk away from people who don't respect your worth, from spaces that feel suffocating, from conversations that drain your energy, from fake friendships, toxic families, and shallow crowds. And you do it with peace, because when you stop caring what people think, you stop begging to be understood, you stop explaining your healing, you stop defending your dreams, you just walk with clarity, with fire, with freedom. You stop asking the world for permission to love yourself. You stop needing someone to choose you before you choose yourself. You stop believing you're only worthy if you're pleasing, polished, productive. You start loving the unfiltered version of you, the tired, flawed, messy, wild, emotional, powerful version. You look in the mirror and say, I'm proud of this person. Even when no one claps, even when no one sees, even when no one agrees, because your self-worth is no longer rented, it's owned. Your days are no longer a performance. Your career isn't about impressing anyone. Your relationships aren't based on pretending. Your goals aren't shaped by what looks good on paper. You start living by something deeper, your values, your gut, your soul. You do what feels aligned, not what looks approved. You create without fearing judgment. You say what needs to be said. You rest when you're tired, not when it's convenient. You play. You laugh. You dream. You breathe, and slowly you come home to yourself. One of the greatest lies we're ever taught is that we must be liked by everyone to be worthy, so we become performers. We mold ourselves into whatever makes others comfortable. We become smaller, quieter, easier to handle. But when you finally stop caring what people think, you realize something shocking. Some people will dislike you no matter what you do. You could be the kindest, smartest, most generous soul on earth, and someone will still roll their eyes at you. So why try? Why exhaust yourself playing a game you were never meant to win? The day you embrace this truth, that you are not for everyone, is the day your soul exhales. You stop chasing approval like a dog chasing cars. You stop trying to water yourself down so you can be more palatable. You stop apologizing for your joy, your confidence, your intensity, your ambition. You realize, I wasn't born to be liked by everyone. I was born to be real. And realness will always offend the fake. One of the first miracles that happens when you stop caring about judgment, you start creating freely. No more second guessing. No more deleting the post because what if it's too much? No more writing safe things. No more saying what's expected. You stop living in the prison of what would they say. And that's when your true creativity awakens. You paint what your soul sees. You write what your spirit feels. You speak truths that scare you because you know they are needed. You're no longer creating to be liked. You're creating to be heard. And suddenly, people start listening. Not because you're perfect, but because you're authentic, and authenticity. It cuts through the noise like thunder. When you stop caring what people think, you stop pretending you're okay when you're not. You stop performing healing. You stop doing what's Instagram acceptable healing, the kind that's pretty and poetic and painless. You begin the real work, the ugly crying in your room at 2 a.m., the confronting of your childhood wounds, the uncomfortable boundaries, the brutal honesty with yourself. You start asking hard questions. Why did I abandon myself to be accepted? Why do I let fear of judgment stop me from growing? Why did I keep showing up in places where I was being slowly erased? And in the rawness of that self-inquiry, healing begins, not the kind that pleases others, the kind that sets you free. Here's the truth they don't tell you. When you stop caring what people think, some people will leave. You'll confuse them. You'll intimidate them. You'll frustrate them. Why? Because the version of you they loved, the agreeable, quiet, approval-seeking version, no longer exists, and that scares them. But don't mourn the loss, celebrate it, because as you rise into your truth, the wrong ones will fall away, and the right ones, the real ones, will find you. People who love your real laugh, people who aren't threatened by your shine, people who clap when you win, sit with you when you break, and never ask you to dim to stay. You don't need a crowd, you need a circle. Before, every decision came from fear. What if they judge me? What if I fail publicly? What if they laugh? What if I look stupid? So you played it safe. You chose what was expected. You delayed your dreams. You said maybe later to your own purpose. But now that their voices no longer drown out your own, you begin to hear something else. Your gut, your knowing, your intuition. You start moving differently, not recklessly, but bravely. You take the job no one understands. You start the project they all mocked. You go after the life you know you were born to live, and it feels right, because now, you don't ask the world for direction, you ask your soul. There's a kind of peace that doesn't come from meditation, spa days, or vacations. It comes from this one thing, being fully, unapologetically, freely. You, no more performing, no more anxiety about what they'll say, no more analyzing your every move, just you, showing up as you are. Every damn day, you walk lighter, you sleep better, you breathe deeper, because the weight of other people's opinions is gone, and without that weight, you finally fly. If this video meant something to you, like, comment, and share it. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'm your friend, Clement.